Let's move on to fan-controlled football. Topic number 6 tonight. Josh Gordon finding some success on the football field, actually being able to play football and get on the football field and finding some success with the Zappers and joining Johnny Manziel.
Yeah, it's awesome to see Josh Gordon, back out on the football field, doing what he loves. The guy's just had a tough time with substance abuse and addiction, and some people think it's just put down that bottle of alcohol or put down that joint, and it's a chemical imbalance that this guy's dealing with. He just there's some of these folks who are this addicted, and they wake up in the morning and they have to have that substance because they feel awful if they don't. So it's just one of those things where I just hope that somehow Josh can stick somewhere, and maybe just playing in this league is all he needs. It's whatever Josh needs, whatever Josh Gordon, feels best doing. Maybe a league like this with his less pressure and so forth. This is maybe something that will help him, for the rest of his life, depending on what he does here. I'm not sure how much money he's made in the NFL. I mean, he's got, a few $1 million. I think he's never really gotten that big contract. So I don't know how much. I don't think he's necessarily set for life, but I think he's got enough at the moment. But I'm just happy to see him be successful. Especially he had 2 touchdowns. One was a Hail Mary to win the game, so that's just awesome to see for a guy like Josh Gordon, who's immensely talented, but just unfortunately has that substance abuse problem that's just really tough to kick.
Yeah, I mean, we're watching the Hail Mary catch, and that was from Manziel to Gordon for the game winner for the Zappers. So it clearly shows, I mean, what is that, like quadruple coverage that he beats right there? I can't even tell how many guys are on the field because they have, these crazy rules with indoor football. But, I mean, yeah, it clearly shows that the guy's still got some talent and some ability. And, I mean, this is why I wanted to have topic number 7 next, because it's one of those things where maybe if the NFL's rules weren't so strict to a certain extent that you still might have this guy playing in the NFL and on the field making those plays for an NFL team. So, I mean, I don't know. It's good to see Josh getting on the field. He tweeted out that he was happy. He felt good to get the win. Said he hadn't felt anything like that in a long time. Johnny Manziel immediately was tweeting for the Zappers to go and pick him up once he got suspended again. And within days, they did. They went and signed him to a contract, and he said that he was going to be playing football again. So it's just one of those things where I think the fan-controlled football league is kind of taking an advantage of a situation here and being like, this is kind of what we're promoting our league on. And that's what they said with Johnny Manziel, being like, it's a league that is less strict, where you can kind of come in. We're going to have less practices. We're going to kind of just come in and play and have fun and enjoy the game. And so I think that's appealing to a lot of people. It's definitely appealing to me. And so I love seeing these two playing on the field together. And obviously you got some highlight plays out of it. And you can only imagine if they were playing together on a football field. A lot of people I know are going to comment being like, Johnny Manziel could never make an NFL team, yada, yada, yada. Honestly, he really could if he was in the right situation as well. I think that's another great player that like you're saying, substance abuse is bigger than most people are either willing to accept or willing to, acknowledge, because it is a big deal. And for Josh Gordon, he said this was something that he's been battling since he was a child. Since he was a child, he's had substance abuse issues because of the situation that he grew up in, and he just grew up in around it. So unfortunately, I think this is like that for a lot of people, where they just don't grow up in the right situation, get on the wrong track, but I don't know. It's just tough. I think I would like to see teams looking to help more instead of just like saying, hey, you're suspended indefinitely like they've been doing with these guys. But the fan-controlled football league is stepping up and saying, hey, we'll sign you, and hopefully they're going to help them as well, because I think that's a big deal, right?
Yeah, definitely. And you're right. I mean, if this is an alternative league that players are going to want to go to when they don't have to worry about some of the restrictions that the NFL has or rules that the NFL has, guys like Josh Gordon and Johnny Manziel, they're going to bring eyeballs to that league. So I think it's great that guys like that can get in there. It's only going to help the league, no matter what happens, to get legit NFL talent on their field. So I think that's pretty cool.